Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I've just witnessed Norwich 0, Fulham 2 behind enemy lines. Just like to say a quick thank you. I was recognised by 2 or 3 Norwich fans today and they were all very nice to me. Ipswich fan undercover there. I was there to watch Fulham, one of the top teams in the league, and if you saw my top 10 EFL players, I've seen 3 of my top 10, Maddison, Sessegnon and Kearney, all on show today, so I was really looking forward to the game. Big crowd at Norwich, 26,000, big game feel. So good day to be here. Norwich, sort of 4-1 type system, surprised me actually. Gunn in goal, Pinto right back, Zimmerman closer centre backs, Lewis left back. So Teti sits in front of the back 4 with Vrancic and Reed in front. Murphy and Maddison were a little bit further back than I suspected. A 4-3-3 can easily turn to a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-5-1. And we'll talk about that more when we talk tactically about the first half. And Sabrani up front. No, if I'm pronouncing that right, for Norwich on his own. Fulham, the 4-3-3. The big news was no Sessegnon starting. Bettinelli in goal. Fredericks, Adoy, Ream target the back 4. McDonald sitting, Johansson and Kearney roaming. Aite left, Piazon right, and Mitrovic, the big guy, up front. So that was how it was set up, and it looked a little bit like Farke for Norwich had really set up to kind of stop Fulham. And I was just looking at it at the beginning and I saw where Murphy and Maddison went to, and I was a little bit worried that Norwich's 2 most creative players, and certainly their best player Maddison, were going to be doing a lot of sort of tracking and watching these roaming fullbacks, Target and Fredericks, and that is a little bit how it panned out in the first half. On 9 minutes, worked into the box for Aite. A big penalty shout by some of the Fulham players. I think it was Zinnerman who arrives at the same time. Aite kind of stumbles and goes down. Nothing doing. First shot of the game on 10 by Kearney, the side footer from the edge. Easy save for Gunn rolling through there. Far more dubious penalty appeal on 18 for Mitrovic, who gets a bump in the back and goes down. Easy decision for the ref there. On 19, Murphy with Norwich's first shot. He's coming in from the left. It takes a deflection, which takes the sting out of it. Although Bettinelli did look a little bit suspect dealing with that one. Short corner for Fulham, lifted over to the back post on 23. Ream is there. He's a centre half. It's on the volley, but he's got no one around him. His volley ends up kind of going behind where he was. I think if that had been one of the more skillful players on the pitch in an attacking sense, quite a good chance there. Mitrovic with a speculative curler, over it goes. Now, that's the first half an hour. I think Fulham were on top for that period, but Norwich's pressing and Norwich's team shape did start to work, although I will say Norwich did seem to be set up to stop Fulham and then counter-attack. They didn't necessarily have that much attacking intent, and it looked like their best players were sort of Teti breaking everything up and Reed leading the press and kind of breaking his line, with Murphy and Maddison a little bit sort of quiet. Great play from Murphy on 32. Charges through. This is a good moment for Norwich. He's a good old-fashioned shoulder charge, and then he runs on. Sabrani goes one way across him. Maddison is clear the other side. Sabrani turns his back. Murphy plays in the ball and it goes through to the keeper. Wrong choice. What I will say about Murphy, the first part of his play and his running, really good, and then seems to just stop and think about it, where maybe the number 23 in yellow maybe wouldn't. So poor decision there from Murphy. Kearney gets robbed by Sabrani, carries it on to the edge area, pretty weak left footer. So you can see from the actual chances, Fulham, obviously anyone who's seen Fulham knows defenders split, keeper chips it out, they play it around, Kearney and Johansson rotate, keep the ball lovely, everybody comfortable on the ball. In terms of chances, Norwich better in the first half there from Fulham than Fulham. But I will keep maintaining Norwich did seem set up to stop and sort of counteract them. And I just think when you've got someone like Maddison in your team and you're going to play one up front, lose that guy in the hole or lose someone and just get him in a central position to try and play in between the line of midfield and forward. What have you got to lose when basically your midfield is sitting there and swamping up Fulham attacks? That's just my view. I'd be interested to know what people think in the comments on that. I thought where Fulham were looking good was down the left-hand side. I think, again, I'm talking a lot about Maddison. He's a great player, but he didn't give Pinto any cover to deal with Aite and Target coming forward. I thought it was a good game for Target and a good half. The other side, Norwich were better, and Lewis looks like a good player, good youngster. There, I thought, as I say, Piazon was quiet down the right. And obviously there was the elephant in the room, is just Sessegnon waiting to come on. I don't know what the thinking is, just giving him a bit of a rest. Obviously, it worked if you go and win the game. No tactical changes at half-time. Both teams line up the same. Both managers looking and watching each other. Norwich start the second half pretty well. Breaks in the midfield. Slid through to Sabrani. Now he's kind of in behind, but he's over to the right-hand side of the box. And I'm thinking, pass it, pass it. He hits an awesome shot, really smashes through the shot. It's going in the top corner, and Bettinelli makes a good save. Bit closer in, and the keeper doesn't see that as well. But good effort from Sabrani, who, we'll talk about him at the end, had a hard old job today. Corner from the right, yeah, nothing doing there, sorry. 53, here comes the sub. Jokanovic, fair play to him. He acts early. Sessegnon in for Aite. I thought Aite was a bit unfortunate to go off, but you've got your star guy there, and in he comes down the left and quickly makes a difference. A good move by Fulham. Fredericks gets to the byline for the first time, and this is going to be the pattern that's actually going to win Fulham the game. That Mitrovic against Zimmerman and Closer, Mitrovic is going to win that battle, and this was the first indication. Fredericks gets to the line, floats the cross back. Zimmerman and Mitrovic wrestling to get it. It's kind of clash of the titans. Mitrovic gets the header. Gunn's not going to save it, just wide of the post, and I think Fulham just realised at this point we're starting to soften up the two Norwich centre-backs. McDonald takes a yellow for going into the back of Maddison. How many fouls does that guy get against him? Seems to be on the floor a lot. A very heavily fouled player, Maddison. Free kick, chipped in, headed away, smashed back in on the volley by Murphy. Really good technique because it's high up and he gets kind of side on. Bettinelli, full dive by him, not far wide. Good effort from Murphy. Breakout by Norwich. Murphy drives forward again, ball into Maddison, blocked out. He went onto his left foot, should have hit it with the right, and he got blocked out. Good position. From the corner, Fulham break out. Up and under here, weird one for Fulham. And Lewis and Sessegnon and Gunn are all, the ball's going to fall down and they're all on the edge of the area converging together. Lewis and Gunn getting a right muddle. It bounces down for Sessegnon. He doesn't know where it is. He turns around. It's on his right foot, not his left, thankfully, if you're a Norwich fan. Hits a half volley, gets a good contact, decent shot. Zimmerman back on the goal line has read it and makes the goal line block and saves it there. From the corner, the clearance goes out, and Kenny with a left-footed volley wide. But on 65, not long after Sessegnon's come on, Fulham take the lead here. Sessegnon picks it up, he keeps the ball, he drifts inside and opens up the space for Target. It's worked out to Target, who gets down the line. They know now that Mitrovic has probably got the beating of the Norwich centre-half, so it's floated into the box. It's a lovely cross. Good header again from Mitrovic. Gunn makes the save. Out it comes. It was a good chance initially. He pushes it out. I don't really blame Gunn for that. In comes Johansson. He gets a good contact on it. He's close in. He smashes the rebound in, and Fulham have the lead. Out comes McDonald on 67. He's on a yellow, and on 69, absolute killer for Norwich. 2 goals in 4 minutes. They come again on the break, and Piazon, who I thought might be the one to make way when Sessegnon inevitably did come on, he gets behind, he puts a low cross in. Mitrovic is in. Forgive me, it's either Zimmerman or Closer. I think it's Closer this time. He's roughing them up again. Closer gets there first. Out it comes. Everyone holds their breath, but who's running in on it? It's Kearney. He's not going to mess that up. He's very, very, very calm. He takes it on his left foot, and he doesn't swipe at it. He waits for it to come to him and slides it nicely in the corner. So if you're a Norwich fan, you're probably thinking, well, Fulham didn't actually have that much in the way of sort of shots. Excuse me, let me get my light back on. But when it came the vital moment, Sessegnon comes in and Mitrovic really makes the difference. It's good having a 12 million guy on loan from Newcastle up front. And although the crosses didn't go in directly, it was him that was the focal point for the attacks, and both of the rebounds get followed in. And you have to give credit for Fulham. They've got midfielders up in the box. They're trying to win that game. And I think you'll agree, if you saw the game, that Norwich in similar positions didn't have bodies forward like Kearney and Johansson that put the 2 goals in. So that's kind of killed the game, but there's still 20 minutes to go. Maddison feeds Murphy. He's in behind. He fires it left-footed. It's a poor decision again because it's neither a cross nor a shot. If he slides it across the box, Sabrani is sliding in on the back post and will score, and he doesn't hit it. You've either got to hit the target or find the guy, and he does neither. Nice move by Norwich here. Maddison in the box. He's blocked up for a corner. Even better moment, though, from the corner. They work Pinto in, but a right-back's cross. Houlihan comes in for Teti. Oliveira comes in for Sabrani. Camera comes in for Mitrovic. Damage is done, you think, by then. Bit of a scruffy last 20 minutes. Fredericks takes a yellow down the right. I think again on Maddison. Murphy with a yellow one. Maybe revenge tackle there on Fredericks. Edwards, I think that's his debut for Norwich, comes in for Vrantrich. Norwood, bad one, slides in on Maddison, takes a yellow. Murphy, left to right, poor shot by him. Oliveira nearly gets in on a back pass. It's very, very rainy now, and they're kind of trying to capitalise on that. Maddison takes a yellow for dissent, and it seemed like the entire 6-minute stoppage time all happens in the left back area. Lots of kind of pushing and shoving and gesticulating. Johansson gets in trouble for winding up the Fulham fans and getting them sort of cheering. Camera takes a ridiculous yellow card for delaying a restart, and then we knew it was coming. Kearney's holding it in the corner, and Reed, the only one without a yellow, no, absolutely clatters him. Last action of the game, Maddison curls it over the top. So the narrative of the game, really, I think, lies in the fact that Norwich seemed to set up to stop Fulham and didn't just have enough attacking intent of their own to actually win the game. It was fairly even at half-time. Fulham probably territory-wise. I would say Norwich's best players were Teti and Reed. Reed for the pressing and Teti blocking stuff up. But their tactics were working at half-time. If you think about it, it's 0-0. You've had a couple of breakaways, and if Murphy maybe uses the ball better, you're going to score one of them. Into the second half, and I mean, the stadium took a kind of intake of breath as Sessegnon came out. He's now a player, like Maddison for Norwich, that fears... other team supporters rather fear. On he comes, and I don't know if it just pepped them up, but then the game swung Fulham's way. Swung, excuse me, Fulham's way. Mitrovic had a good 10 minutes, a good powerful striker, and they put the 2 goals in. But it's that attacking intent. Both goals came from attacking players wide, full-back forward on one occasion, and the forwards supported by midfield players coming in, and they're good players, Kearney and Johansson. They're going to take those chances when they come in. If you're a Norwich fan, I'm interested to hear, well, first of all, about Sabrani. Is he good enough, and why is he ahead there of Oliveira if you're playing one up front on his own? Is Maddison wasted starting out there wide? Does he need to come across? When I was here watching Ipswich, everything went through him, and he's an excellent player, and I just felt he was a bit wasted, and he gave opportunities down his side because he's not primarily a defensive player. What's the deal with Murphy? A lot of fans, Norwich fans, seemed impatient with Murphy today. I'd be interested to get comments on him. And Zimmerman and Klose are both good, big, strong Championship centre-halves, but they could not cope with Mitrovic, certainly for both of the goals and that header. I think he had the number on them. Also, guns kicking. Interesting, let's just say. Pinto had a couple of good moments charging forward, but I would say Teti in the first half was cleaning everything up. And I do think Reed, not in terms of getting on the ball, but he seemed to be the one that was breaking the line from midfield and leading the press for Norwich. So where do you see this panning out? And Maddison does seem so clearly ahead of everyone else in that team, and he's probably going to leave at the end of the season. How do you see this shaping up in the future, Norwich fans? What do you think of Farke's tactics? He probably was right, and Fulham just had better players and a better team and won the game, frankly. So I don't know how much culpability he takes. For Fulham, normally when you see Fulham play, it's Kearney really standing out, and I thought they functioned really well as a team. The fullbacks is always effective. If Targett wasn't their man of the match today in terms of effectiveness, he wasn't far off. Obviously, you've got these two guys in midfield who both scored. But Mitrovic really did make a difference. Those 2 goals for Fulham don't go in if he's not leading the line as well as he did and as powerfully as he did. And that as a game plan really worked well for Fulham. The interesting thing I want to hear from Fulham fans is Cardiff are really streaking away, and they've won again today. Their next 3 games, Sheffield United away, Wolves, and then Villa away. So, is there any chance for Fulham to catch Cardiff? And I don't want to say this, I supported George Burley's Ipswich, who played all the best football and then got done. At the moment, if the season stops now, Jukanovic comes against Pulis. And is that the sort of playoff semi-final that Pulis would do a number on Fulham? And having played all this beautiful, great football, you know, would they come out? Can they catch Cardiff? I don't know. I think the gap might be too big. 7 games to go for Fulham. Cardiff game in hand, and I think 8 points. 7 points clear, possibly 72 and 79. 8. You know, that distance. Can they make it up? And then can they keep that momentum going into the playoffs, knowing that they're possibly not going to catch Cardiff? I know that's 2 questions in one, but really interested to hear from Fulham fans in the comments today. Have really enjoyed the game. Thanks to those Norwich fans. They know I'm an Ipswich fan, who were nice to me and shook my hand today from watching these videos. So that was quite welcoming there at Carrow Road. I am off for Ipswich's first game since the announcement that McCarthy is going away at Birmingham tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. I'm going to go and see my sister and my parents over there and eat some Easter eggs. Please give me a subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Please comment on this video. Agree, disagree. Just don't say mean things about my hair or my jumper. Thank you, everybody, for watching.